Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. So we're going to continue on our journey with a request from Mango, and this one is sorry man, I've covered it up over here. Okay, so this is called Crocodile Attack Boat Killer, Sweetheart, the Aussie heavyweight champion. So I don't know what this is about. John Williamson Crocodile Roll is next. Okay, so we're gonna do this one is called Crocodile Attack Boat Killer, and I don't really know what this is. So Mango gives us some great stories, and I don't doubt this is one of them. So let's just go right into the intro, and then we'll get into the video, and I'll see you somewhere in the middle.
But next, I'm going to tell you the story of this crocodile, Sweetheart.
I mean, there he was out there doing a quiet spot of fishing when all of a sudden, bang! This giant crocodile came up, turned him over, bit half his leg off, dragged him down there.
This stretch of water on the Finnis River was known as Sweet's Lookout, and it was the home of the crocodile Sweetheart. It was also the site of 13 attacks by that one crocodile over a period of 5 years.
I wouldn't call that a sweetheart.
The attacks on the fishing parties began in 1974. 2 men and a woman were fishing one evening. It was a very hot night, very humid, and very quiet. Suddenly the boat was rocked, and the head of a huge croc appeared over the stern of the boat. The croc hit the boat again, then took hold of it and shook it. The woman was almost flung over the side. In their desperation, they got the small motor going, but the croc then took hold of the motor, propeller and all in its mouth, and shook it. The monster lifted himself half into the boat, and of course water poured in. To the great relief of these people, the croc then disappeared. 12 months later, Sweetheart did the same thing to the same boat. This time he broke off a piece of the engine cowling and put his head right through the hole. Almost exactly 12 months later to the...
Well, hold on a second. So, now, I know you Aussies are very brave. There's no doubt, right? But sometimes you got to think about it. You're on this river, and a crocodile attacks your boat, and it's so huge that it puts the propeller and the motor and everything in its mouth, and it shakes the boat, almost launching y'all off into the river where he could now eat you. And then I think what they say, he disappears, but yet a month later, these guys and gal is back in that river. You know, what are they thinking? I would never go back to that stinking river, but here they are. And this time, you know, according to what I'm watching now, he's shook him off into the river. So somebody's fixing to be an evening meal for their Sweetheart, I guess.
Almost exactly 12 months later to the day, a Northern Territory policeman, Ken Phillips, was fishing on this very billabong with his 2 sons and a friend. It was one of those hot, humid November days.
Hell no.
Well, we'd been fishing for around about an hour, and we're trolling along the bank. Nothing much was happening, it was all very quiet, and all of a sudden there was an almighty clang on the boat, just as if you'd hit the bow of the boat with a sledgehammer. Then all of a sudden the boat lurched to the right, and I thought we definitely were on a snag, and it rolled right over to one side. Merv was sort of stunned and amazed, and I looked at him, and he's actually, I suppose I was too, but he was white. And at that stage, on the left-hand side of the boat, the croc just surfaced, came up, and his head came up almost within touching distance of the boat. And I thought, it's Sweetheart. But I instinctively pointed my rod at the crocodile for some reason. I really don't know to this day why I did it. He went down, and we're all sort of still pretty shocked, but the thing that stuck in my mind was if I try and rev the motor up, that he might attack the motor. So I took off slowly. We went 20, 30, 40 metres without seeing the croc again, and really took off and left from there, and that was it.
Hell yeah.
The attacks continued right through until 1979. Such people as Max Curtin and Ian Watson, Clyde Reborth, Max Davidson, Terry O'Brien, Carl Blumanis and Dick Gleisner. All of these people were experienced Northern Territory bushmen and fishermen. 13 attacks in all. By May 1979, the Conservation Commission had decided that Sweetheart was becoming too dangerous. Whilst he had never attacked anybody or killed anybody, and considering all the people that he'd thrown out of the boats, he'd had plenty of opportunity. But they knew.
So he or she, whatever, has thrown 13 people into the water but hasn't attacked them. I wonder where this story is going.
That it would only be a matter of time. Policeman Denver Marchant and Ranger Dave Linder went hunting with him on Sweet's Lookout on the night of the 28th of May 1979. Denver Marchant takes up the story.
This apparition appeared behind Dave, for want of a better word, because I knew what it was, but I didn't sort of want to believe what it was. And it headed straight for the top of the outboard motor for the cowling. And it hit the boat with a heck of a thump. The impact caused me to fall over backwards, and Dave got propelled off the seat, which is just here, onto his knees in front of me, because I went right over backwards. And in front of me I had a fishing basket, a prawn basket, so to speak, and I had a 5.77 double rifle there. That was going to be the weapon I was going to use, but of course I was nowhere near it, and I fell over backwards. As I went over, I sort of grabbed the side of the boat, and I know I left crimp marks in it, and out of sheer panic and fright, I suppose. But I got back up on the seat again. What had happened, the transom had been pulled right under the water, and the water just poured over the back of it. It had a V transom. And Dave sat back up in the seat. We looked at each other, and because we knew what it was, obviously. But Dave hadn't seen it, of course, but I'd seen it right on Dave, and I obviously had a wild look in my eye. I said, oh, that classic line out of Jaws. I said, we need a bigger boat.
Sweetheart survived that attempt, but the end was near. Traps and snares were set, and 1 month later, the king of the Finniss River was finally captured. He was meant to be taken alive, but in his prolonged struggle, Sweetheart drowned.
Well, this is Sweetheart, the crocodile. And I'm in the Darwin Museum. And really, I would have much sooner taken you, say, to the crocodile farm and shown you Sweetheart when he was alive. He's 5.1 metres in length. That's just over 16.5 feet.
Good Lord.
And in excess of 800 kilograms in weight. And I mean, when you look at him, have a look at the size of those back legs, the teeth. And he's a male. A lot of them reckon he was a female, because only a female could be that cantankerous. And when you think of all this and you look at him, and you think how ferocious he looks, and realise that he never ever killed anybody or attacked any person. Amazing.
That big.
Yeah, that was a heck of a story, man. You know, just because he didn't attack anybody doesn't mean he wasn't able to attack anybody. Just like a snake. Sometimes a poisonous snake, or most of the time, poisonous snake won't attack you, but sometimes they do. Doesn't make any less dangerous because they don't attack you. You know, today might be the day they decide they're hungrier than other days. But if he was that big, and of course, I know nothing about crocodiles other than they look scary and they'll eat you. But maybe, you know, he was in that river, and I think y'all call it billabongs, but maybe that had a lot of food sources for that crocodile. And whenever, you know, he met up with these boats and these people in the boats, he wasn't hungry. He was just, he may have just had some kind of issue with internal combustion engines, you know, the outboard motors on these boats, and for whatever reason, he was threatened by that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about crocodiles, but what a great story, Mango. Thanks for turning me on to that. And for the rest of y'all for stopping by and spending a little time here and checking out this channel. It means a lot to me. So we're coming to an end, and I'm going to get us out of here. So till I see y'all again, I'll catch you down the road. Bye, y'all.